Coming up on Mental Health Marty, the silent struggle, self-injury in the Black community. Stay tuned. What's going on, everyone? Hey, what's happening? Happy Tuesday. We are in a whole nother month, the month of March. And can someone please tell me where January and February have gone? Mind-blowing, mind-blowing. But listen, it's me, it's your boy, it's your host, Mental Health Marty, coming to you live and in living color, as always, in Southern California. Y'all, where the sun is always shining. I promise you, it feels like we're about to enter into summer months because we've been having these 80 and high 70s, 80s, and knocking on 90-degree weather. But we hope that you're doing well on the East Coast. But the West Coast still, y'all, is the best coast. And we pray and hope that you are doing well. And again, happy Tuesday to you. We pray that your week is going superb and that you are enjoying your best life and living your abundant life. So we are so glad that you have joined us yet for another episode this week. And let us know where you're listening from and what you're doing. So glad to have so many of you just following along and following us as we are going along and talking about this month. March is definitely self-awareness month and self-care, and to bring highlights on self-injury. Miss Tanya, so good to see you. Listen, hopefully we'll see you this coming Saturday. Sad that we have to see you under these conditions, but definitely it'll be good to see you and hope everyone is doing well. But let me remind you of the point of the Mental Health Marty Show. The Mental Health Marty Show is a program for educational and psychodynamic awareness for the purposes of only helping to bring mental awareness to the community at large. Because too often we don't talk about mental health and how it affects many communities of color, particularly within the African American, the Black community. So we are not intended to be a replacement for seeing your professional therapist or your psychologist, psychiatrist, or anything else like that. But we are strictly a supplement to everything that's going on. We want to supplement your walk, and so that we be a part of your treatment plan so that we can live the best life we can. So again, if you're experiencing any type of medical emergency, we definitely want you to call 911 or 988 and go to your urgent care and your nearest emergency room to get the necessary help that you need. But other than that, thank you so much for watching and joining us. I am so excited about tonight. Yeah, Miss Tanya, we know you from the Cali. Come on, y'all, put in there where you're from. Yes, yes, yes. I think we got Cali in the house tonight. And just remember, we are in daylight saving. Is that what we call? Anyway, we move forward this weekend, so don't be late for church. And make sure you put out your tithes and offering. We got lots of ways to give, y'all. You can use a Cash App, Zelle, Venmo. It don't matter. Cash is always good too. Credit cards, there's so many ways you can do it, but don't be late for service on Sunday. So set your clocks ahead of time. I'm talking old because now, we got these modern phones and everything that automatically jumps the time ahead and what we're doing. But anyway, let's talk about today. What's going on? Miss Desi, what's going on? So when we talk about self-injury, a lot of times we don't talk about how it appears in our communities. There's so many ways of doing self-injury. And when we're looking at especially young people, and y'all, we can't just say young people anymore because suicide has increased. And we had yet another person commit suicide this past week in the professional football in the NFL. And we cannot hide or dance around the fact that pain is real. Suffering is real. And too often we secretly suffer in silence in the shadow of shame. And I love what Dr. Rita Walker says best, that we need to discover what our psychological fortitude is and what we can handle and manage as a people. Too often we have been taught and conditioned to press through, to always wait until our change comes and that we're just barely making it. Y'all, those are signs that we need to take some time to ourselves to recuperate, to rejuvenate, to refresh, and all of those other things that's going to keep us at our wits, make sure we're not at our wits end, but that we're operating at our best. And what does that even look like? And so tonight, this conversation is going to be around how do we deal with this silent struggle and the silent struggle of depression, the silent struggle of anxiety, the silent struggle of self injury, and what that looks like. It takes so many forms. The most obvious are cutting, burning, hitting yourself, scratching open and infecting wounds, pulling of hair, picking at your skin. But can we talk about some of the hidden ones? When we're driving unsafely down the road? Can we talk about getting so intoxicated till it's destroying our liver and our body? Can we talk about the drug overdoses and taking Molly and so many other things? And fentanyl is so running rampant in our community. Let's talk about all the other things that we do that brings on self-harm and self-injury that we don't talk about. And cutting can be hidden in so many ways. I remember one time when I was seeing a teenage young man. He, at the time, he was probably about 14, 15, and struggling living with dad, and dad didn't listen to him. And so he would cut himself on his inner thigh. Or when you're seeing kids and it's 90 degrees and they're wearing these hoodies and all these sweats and all that, it's beyond just being trend setting, but they're hiding something. Kids are cutting in between their toes now. All these different ways of cutting and injury and self-injury, from starving themselves to death, and so many other ways that are happening. So tonight, I'm so excited to have he's not a stranger. He might as well be a resident of the Mental Health Marty show, because unfortunately Bishop is not feeling well tonight. Y'all pray for Bishop. And definitely Reverend Dr. Margarita had to also reschedule as well. So, but I have my ride or die with me, and I'm so glad he's here. Not only is he an apostle, a pastor, a husband, a father, a grandfather, uncle, all those other great things, but listen, he also comes with his master's in marriage and family therapy, who is already an outstanding Black male therapist, as we know that Black male therapists still represent just 1%. Touch your neighbor, say 1% of the mental health field. And I'm so glad that he is joining us tonight to talk about a lot of times the hidden things we don't talk about in our communities because we are ashamed of it. None other, he goes by Apostle, none other than Sly Wallace himself. Man, how you doing? How you doing?
I am well. I love your intro, man. I am well. I am well. Just honored. Thank you so much for this opportunity to be a part of this process, man. And
yes,
talk about something that I have decided to commit my life to.
Yes.
And that is the health and well-being of not just men and women, but the Black man and the Black individual. This is very, very dear to me. And, and just seeing what's happening, it's really sad.
Yeah, it really is. And just for I can't imagine anyone on my show not knowing who you are. But for those who don't know who you are, can you give us an intro? And even why is this such a burden on your heart? And I love the vision that you laid out to us this past week about where you see the ministry, specifically with Change Church, going. And you have a very specific calling on your life, and those that you pastor, mentor, and give support to, whether it's spiritual, mental health, and all of that. But we'd love to hear more about you, Pastor.
Well, this is such a very personal and yet painful topic, and I know you want me to introduce myself and
go right ahead. Do it however. Yes.
I'm a clinical therapist, APCC. I'm in therapy and I'm also in ministry. I went into therapy because I saw the dichotomous relationship between
Yes.
spirituality and emotional IQ, and how we often try to marry the two, and they just don't work unless
Yes.
we create an environment for that experientially to
Mm-hmm.
become a strong point. But
Mm-hmm.
while you were talking, man, I begin to think about a lot of the Black men we
Yes.
currently deal with, and I'm seeing this common ground when you talk about self-injurious behaviors. Uh, Hypersexuality is a
Yes. Oh,
self-injurious
thank you.
behavior. I
Yes.
mean, it just goes on and on and on and on. And one of the things I'm noticing is that most of the time we injure ourselves in places where we're not affirmed. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm starting now.
I love, but you're so right. Talk more about the even the psychology and spirituality behind that, how we hurt areas of ourselves
That's right.
where we're not affirmed, and
That's
why
right.
affirmation, especially for young boys, is so imperative for their development.
That's right. So one of the things I know, both experientially and professionally, whatever I'm not affirmed in, I experience the highest level of vulnerability. And this vulnerability is required. It's this place where I'm most vulnerable in, society requires me to show up in. And instead of having a substantiated identity, I
Mm-hmm.
grasp for what society says I should be.
Mm.
And when I can't become that, then I have to do things to validate or affirm that in myself, which causes self-injurious behaviors. And this is what I mean.
Mm.
Hidden pain is what you don't see, is the war inside of me, and the
Yes.
silence that bleeds louder than my scars.
Yes.
The
Yes.
silence. I remember I was counseling with this individual, and I asked this person, I said, "Why are you cutting yourself?"
Mm-hmm.
And this individual, which happened to be an African American, he said, "Because for the first time that I cut myself, I'm actually in control of something."
Mm. Yeah, that's very similar to a patient I had. Um, good gosh, it's probably been over 10 years ago now, and he was starving himself.
Mm.
Same thing. So, because this is the only area of my life that I can control, even if it's detrimental
That's right.
to my health
That's right.
and could cause me health failures,
That's right.
but at least I'm in control. Why do you think for men, women, we're going to unlock the mind of the man for you?
Mhm.
Is that so imperative of being able to
Because
control?
listen, I say this all the time. Society makes, especially Black men, performance based. Our ancestors were only allowed to be comfortably in a society where they allow us to simulate culturally. We
Yes.
have to be entertainers,
Yep.
sports, or buffoons. And so entertainers,
Yes.
sports, or buffoons. And so if we can't successfully articulate an entertainer or a sports or buffoon, then we are considered less of a person. So
Yes.
what we learn to do is we learn to control variables that make us feel stronger. Let me give you
Yes.
an example. Um, the masculinity that beats on women, the
Mm.
masculinity that hurts people, is not as often a inner struggle within ourselves, because we don't have an affirmed identity
That's
that
it.
real men can stand in a vulnerable place. So,
Yes.
and so what we end up doing is we cut, we burn, not because we're weak, but because surviving the pain we're in, it hurts too much.
Yes.
It
And
hurts. Sometimes it hurts to be alive.
yes. And so, and even the converse of that, is it also is a reminder that you are alive and that you are a
Oof.
person. So I don't have to put on this cover up and go kill the inside, kill the feeling.
Say that again. You do what? Just say that again.
You're killing that. You're killing your feelings so that you then could become robotic. But I cut because now I can feel.
Yeah.
Yes. You said something, and can I add to that? Because I agree. We're performers, whether it's in the entertainment, whether it's a singer, rapper, or sports. The buffoon, and can I add one to say the breeder?
Oh,
the breeder. Because back in the slave time and on a slave auction block, you got the virile one because he could breed.
Come on.
And he was breeding more slaves. And that's where we got that term mother from, because when you look at the history of that,
that's deep. I learned. Okay.
Yes, that's where the terminology came from.
That's deep. Okay.
And so with that, Dr. Robin, I needed you to be on this call too. Yes, Dr. Robin McCall, missed you. But that's where it came from. And so you're right. So if I'm not a breeder, then I can't. And then we get to I don't want to say intimidated, but we're not allowed to be intelligent. So I have to play the buffoon because I'm playing the role. Every one of those things, I'm playing a role in life to please and I'm going to say here, to please the culture and the community at large, but never to please myself.
That's right.
So how do we, and we just going to talk about Black men and men tonight.
Okay.
Because I'm with you. And Apostle, I fought this because I did not want to have a men's ministry or men's passion or men's burden. Nope, didn't want it. Growing up in a DV household and all that, I didn't want it. I'm like, nah. And in fact, I told God, you can have that. In fact, the conversation we've had with God is about it. I told God, I love you. I can't stand your people.
I understand. I understand for some reason. I'm very close to that.
Listen, and that's why I can't leave the local church. I'm like, every time I try to leave, I'm a drug right back in. And so now I don't even fight it anymore. But but why is it that and how can Black men stop losing themselves to everyone else and start losing, and I say it in a wonderful term, losing themselves to themselves?
That's deep. Because 7.4% of Black male teens report a suicide attempt in the past year.
Wait, say that number one more time for the people in the back.
7.4% of Black male teens reported a suicide attempt in the past year.
And can I bring up what Dr. Rita Walker said? That's just the ones that we know about.
That's a fact.
She says that we have to, and I need to get her on this show. She talks about in her book, the Unapologetic Guide to Black Mental Health. Beautiful book. And I don't know if you have. If you don't, I got an extra one. It's phenomenal. She talks about we have to measure suicide in our community from a different, and I say it this way, different vantage point, from a different lens. From the one who is doing those reckless behaviors, from the one that is taking the drugs and taking horrible amounts of it, knowing that it could kill them, to the one that's always dancing with death, if I could say it that way, from the sex, from the alcohol, to all these type of things. And she says it this way: we should count those as elongated deaths.
Ooh. Where do I, as a Black man, name 5 things that I organically get involved in that value me, that validates who I am as a Black man? Okay, like literally, name 5 social societies. Name 5. Okay, we got 100 black men.
Oh,
We
okay,
got
yes.
Jack and Jill.
Mm-hmm.
Name 3 other ones.
I'm hoping that in that we can
It's not
include.
sports.
Yeah, that's not so. I'm hoping we can include some of our fraternities.
No, because the issue. Okay. Now the issue I have with fraternities is unless you pledge to them, there's no affinity and no loyalty. Because I've been involved in some organizations who are specific fraternities. Unless you come in as a fraternity, you are tolerated but not incorporated.
Okay. Oh, I heard you say black men. Got you. And
Yes.
I'm thinking black youth.
Yeah, I'm taking black youth too. Even there is oh man, guy, you're gonna open this up real deep.
Listen, it's free conversation. We having this conversation.
There is an elitist mindset among some black people that they put their children in some programs to give them a head start, to give them extra insight, give them cultural expression, articulation that delineates and isolates them from the rest of the black culture. And so there is no blend, there is no marriage, there is no entity that blends the cultural persuasion on both aspects and that allows me to assimilate on both sides and still find value. Let me give you a case in point. If I'm articulate and well spoken, I'm a sellout. If I'm too urban or my language is not that articulate or whatever, now I'm uneducated. Where can I just be a black man and be a black man and fit in?
And so is that a cultural problem that we have because we've allowed everyone else to define us except ourselves, especially as black men?
Right. And it goes back. Now, how does that impact young black men now? If I don't fill a place as a black man, where do I put my sons?
True. And I love what your passion, because I think we have to we got to quit waiting on everyone else. And I say it this way, and I put it in these terms, this Oz theory, waiting for the great wizard.
Wait, say that again.
The Oz theory. Yeah. we can't wait for the wizard.
Yes.
Because when we pull the curtain back of life, we realize that the wizard was just a man who had limited or no talents, but he was just able to perpetrate a fraud in front of us and let us, bamboozled us, led us astray, and all those things. But we have to provide these outcomes and these outlets ourselves for our own community and develop them and mentor and all those things ourselves if we want to see the culture move forward.
That's right. And when I deal with, when I was a sports trainer, I would see these young men play through injuries like broken wrists, broken hands, and all these different things. And I'd be like, bruh, why are you doing that? And his thing was, I don't want to let the coach down. So self-injuries, never mind, man.
No, keep going with that. Keep going with that. Yes.
Self-injuries can articulate how I feel and my brokenness without showing the world my vulnerability.
So that brings, and audience, we would love to hear questions and comments from you too. So please throw some stuff in the chat, because this discussion is really, really great. And I love how we're talking about that. And even talk about, because we're really talking about at this point, a lot of non-suicidal injuries that we're talking about. And even because I always go back to the conversations and definitely I believe that I'm wrestling with this because I think we have a soft generation that can't take anything. And what is that's just Marty.
You had to do it. I was avoiding it.
No. And so what is the balance between the soft generation versus the hardcore where we beat them to death? And you know, how do we find this balance? And it basically is, how do we find the strength and the value and the gifting of the Black man, the individualized Black man, and really nurture that? Yeah, I'm here.
Here we go. Now, I wasn't trying to
Come
bring
on.
Jesus in, but I'm gonna bring Jesus.
Come on and bring him in. Bring him in the room.
Bring Jesus in now.
Come on in the room.
Listen, the more the Black man separates from church culture, the smaller and the weaker the bridge gets between our significance in society. Churches, but let's pull it back. Churches often emphasize confession, emotional awareness, doing things in your community. And many Black men grow up in cultures where showing vulnerability as sin is a weakness. But church is the only place where a man can cry and it's okay because that's a breakthrough. But you take the Black man out of the church, and what other place can I articulate emotions and not be judged? Because for a Black man, it has to be a higher power. It has to be something else that has me to be weak. It just can't be where I stand.
And I'm gonna push back just a little.
Okay, go ahead.
Because now I'm not emotional at all.
Don't say your eyes just sweat.
Right. They just, there's some dust in the room.
Yes,
but in some church culture, and I'm not going to name the church because it's that I have had men in men's ministry come up to me and say, "Why do you cry so much?" Now, I particularly didn't care.
Hold on, wait. Hold on. Let me process that.
Yes.
Okay, let me process that. Because there isn't a man over 30, a young man, that has never, especially Black men, that has never felt a degree of hopelessness before.
And mine was even in the and in context, it was even in the worship experience. And so, I can't have a flippant mouth at times. I've gotten much better. I've gotten much better, and I just go. The problem is, why don't you?
That's good.
But I've gotten better. I said, well, brother, I'm going to pray for you.
Yes, sir.
That the Spirit of God might rest and rule and abide in your heart, so that you might know Jesus as your personal Savior for yourself.
You know what's funny? That's real.
Yes.
I think the Spirit of God exposes. The Spirit of God.
He does.
And we need to teach our young men and our young women that it's okay to be exposed in His presence. It's okay. Iron only sharp as iron when it's heat in the middle of it.
So when do we change the conversations and alter the conversations? Because remember, boys are taught to shut up, to man up, get out there, even with that injury, and play. Because the family and everybody's waiting on you so we can get out here, because mama needs that Benz and daddy needs to get that $1,000 so he can go to the club and the shake house and all that other stuff.
It's not the shake house.
The shake, because we're going for the chicken wings.
As
we're making it rain. But when do we? And I'm not saying, when do we find that balance? Because life has to have balance in it. Someone who's not going to cry, I'm just waiting for them to explode, because I see them as almost this whole Coca-Cola syndrome. I'm not going to, but they're suppressing it. So they've already imploded, and the explosion is just a result of that was already taking place for years.
It has to, we have to be invested. We have to say things like, when I see, okay, like you and I both, our eyes tend to sweat.
Yes. Earth Sunday.
Yeah, especially when the presence of God come in. eyes start sweating and stuff like that. And we need to be able to catch that individual and tell them that their pain doesn't define you. Your resiliency does.
That's good.
Healing is not weakness. It's a part of the process to become whole. And so you can't be whole. I was telling someone Sunday, there was a young lady that came in and she had heart issues, and by the grace of God, he healed her. But I told the people, I said, but before God healed her, there had to be a heart issue. We have to let people know that it's okay to identify and recognize that I have pain. I have pain. I have pain. I have pain. I have pain.
Don't you do this to me tonight.
I'm telling you.
Yes.
I gotta be able to recognize it. And the most courageous of us as men are the ones who can stand on the biggest platform, unashamed, unbothered, and say, I'm college educated, I'm successful, I'm articulate, and I have 90% of the things I want, but I have pain. I still feel empty. There are some days I get up in the morning and the sheets are heavy. There are some days I'm sitting in my car and I'm wondering, am I really who the world says that I am? There are some days I'm sitting there and I'm taking care of the family and I'm wondering who's going to take care of me. These are the kind of situations that men face. And women,
yes.
It's even more challenging for our women because society has allowed them to accept an ideology that said you must be married to provide an additional layers of security. So what if you were raised in a traditional home, in a Christian home, where the wife she's a Proverbs woman, but she's not married, and now she's 55 years old with no investment, no retirement, nothing that is aligning up, and she's asking herself, what am I going to do? And that's when the cutting comes in. I got to be able to control something. And then the habits of sex, and then the habits of giving whatever I can, because I would rather injure myself to get you in my life to take care of y'all. Never mind. Y'all don't.
Yes.
Y'all don't want it. I was trying to be nice, but he done brought the apostle out of me. Listen,
but that's so true.
There is vulnerability in us all. And the cutting and the burning and the drinking and the reckless driving, all of it is not just the places that I have learned to control, but it's really boils down to, Lord, do you care enough to stop me?
That's good.
Do you care enough?
Yes.
To stop me?
Yes.
And that level of pain, that haunts you, that level of pain that follows you. Fathers, that level of pain when you look at your children and you have given your best. You have mothers, you've looked at your children, you've given your best. You've gone to school with colds and migraines, and you've busted your hands, and you've been through all kind of tension and racial disparity in comments, and you see your child and they're 21 years old, 25, with no vision, no direction. You talk about pain. And then that little thing in your mind starts to say, who's gonna take care of me when they can barely take care of themselves? What people don't realize is we are in this sandwich generation. We're in this generation where it shouldn't be like this, but society, social media, all these different platforms have had our children in arrested development. And my generation is we're we're having to govern what social media has brought. So now I got my mother and father that is aging above us, who is in the 70s and 80s, who rightfully so may need some assistance, may need a place to stay. But what happens to the Generation Z who has not actualized, who does not have an identity, who does not have the capacity to take care of themselves? Now we're getting squeezed from the top and we're getting squeezed from the bottom, and all the life is being pressed out of us, and we have no strength, we have no place to go. And even us in our generation, we're drinking, we're smoking, we're smoking, we're doing all kind of, we're driving recklessly, we got tears falling down our eyes, not knowing where we're going and what we're doing. Y'all never mind.
Talk, sir.
I'm sorry.
No, sir. But that's so good. But you're absolutely right. And here's what I know. And I love it because for healings, I love this, Doc. Coping mechanisms, and we're just we're barely getting by, and even these coping mechanisms are not healing mechanisms. They're just that. They're teaching us how to cope but not heal. You said something very, very, very important, and as you were sharing that, I remember one Sunday, I physical touch is definitely one of my love languages, and so I hug everybody. And so I was hugging this single mom, not just and I'm trying to give her the godly Christian, the side hug and all that, and all that.
You put your hips away.
Yes. Doc, what's going on, sir? And I'm about to pull away, but I feel her crying. Band-aids on bullet wounds. Come on, Dr. Morrison. Yes, sir. And it kind of caught me by surprise because we're just in the face. Hey, how you doing? And I said, are you okay? She said, that is the first adult touch I've had all week, and I simply wanted to give up.
Jesus.
Because again, this silent frustration, this silent suffering, that the silent killer, when we find and I love it when I remember Lord, I'm getting old. Back in the day.
Oh, here we go.
Back in the day, because the church for us as a community, and I just believe as Dr. Johnson would say, that we heal in community, and the church was a sense of communal support.
That's right.
We went to the church when you remember when we had Reagan cheese. my grandma said that Reagan cheese makes some good grilled cheese. Church. Yeah. It was that big old 5-pound loaf in that box, and
that wouldn't melt. You have it on 900 degrees, and that cheese it'll just bubble, but it would not.
Right. Dr. Morrison, you need to call me too. I've been calling you. And the church was a place of hope. A church was a place of help. The church was a place of healing. The church was a place of wholeness. It was a place of where we may have gotten beaten up during the week, but we come and felt refreshed and renewed and revived and reinvigorated and all that. And it was also a place of mentorship. I got my leadership development skills were recognized, cultivated, and developed in the church. Wow. I had my own Sunday school class of children in the 6th grade.
Wow.
That's dope. And they would put us up front. So that's where I learned the leadership thing. And in fact, Sister Lavoca worked at the Lavoca McMillan. God bless her.
You got a whole name, Lavoca McMillan Jr.
Yes, Lavoca worked as a typing teacher at Newark High School.
Wow.
So and we had Mrs. Bradley was at the middle school, so we couldn't get away. But all that was bringing us connecting back to the church, and so I was affirmed a lot as a kid, and I thank God for that, because even in the midst of a lot of things that might have been going on, I don't even say it like that, because my home life was, when it was good, it was good. It was actually fantastic. Just when it turned left, it turned left.
Mm-hmm.
But I had a lot of hope, and my nickname, don't judge me, because I had thick glasses, thank God for, thick glasses like this, pop bottle ones. So
technology.
Yeah, thank God for technology. One of my nicknames, don't laugh, was Mr. Magoo. So you're not supposed to laugh. You're not supposed to laugh.
I'm sorry. Yeah, the little small eyes, the shades. You lucky I didn't know you back then. I'd let you have it. Sorry about that. Okay, go ahead.
No. But by like 5th grade, my nickname was Professor. And so when you're now called Professor, you start thinking that way. So I knew by the time I hit 6th or 7th grade, my goal was to go to Stanford University. Because one, I had been called Professor all that time. And so the expectation and the bar was set high.
Yes, sir.
Imagine if we start doing that. What the Bible talks about. Someone else. Desi, you in here laughing at my Desi? Don't you laugh at my up here laughing. And so imagine if we would then start, as the Bible says, calling those things aren't that aren't. We start now depositing hope, because you talked about needing to be invested in and called. If we start Mac in the back. Remember, payroll comes through me.
He said, concentration.
Oh, wow. We got jokes in the back. I'm trying to be vulnerable and tell my story. And you done took my pain. But imagine if we then start. No, it's all good. Listen. Oh, wow. Y'all still got jokes. Oh, I see how it is. I'm so glad I got broad shoulders and I can take it. But imagine if we start, as you say, affirming Black men. And simply saying this, because as I share oftentimes.
Wait, say that again.
If we start affirming Black men.
Please say that one more time.
Imagine if we start affirming Black men.
You know what that means, man? Not to cut you off. You know what that means? That means Black men have to be aware of another Black man doing well. It's no poor reflection on me.
Right.
I can celebrate what you do well.
That part.
Without finding something wrong.
Yes.
And realizing it doesn't make me look bad to help you look good.
Yes.
Because I'm sorry, man.
No. You're right on that. Because we start celebrating our strengths without picking out and faulting our failures.
That's right.
And I magnify the things I've done well and diminish the things that I need to eliminate or work on.
That's right. That's one of the principles. That's one of the reasons why I believe you and I relationally. I intentionally, and I teach for myself and others.
Yes.
I teach whatever you're good at, live in that place of strength, but surround yourself with people who are stronger than you in places where you're weak.
Yes.
There has to be a level of vulnerability that allows you to surround yourself with people that shine where you fail.
Yes.
Because I should have the vulnerability.
Yes.
And the humility to know that if I'm a good father but a bad businessman, I need to surround myself with great businessmen.
Yes.
Because nobody is everything all the time.
That part. I always say, if we're talking about Old Testament, we need an Aaron and a Hur.
Ooh, you brought it back to the word again.
I can't escape it. I can't escape it. Because when Aaron when Moses got tired,
yes,
and his arms started to
yes,
they came and propped him up.
Yes, they did.
And one was on the right and one was at the left, so that as long as his arms were lifted, the Israelites won in the battle.
That's right.
And we can win in the battle if we have people come alongside us and lift up our hands.
That's right.
And to make sure that we have the strength to continue and carry on.
And just what you said, man of God, when those two held up Moses' hands, Moses didn't win the battle. The people of Israel won the battle.
Yes.
Yeah, Skip. Yeah, Skip. Yeah. When this is why I love, and I'll just be really transparent. I love Marcel Wellness because you create an environment for everybody to win. And this is what I mean. If we're in your environment and we have a great ideal, that great ideal is fostered and not buried. That is something because leadership recognizes, and that's the same principle I adopt in ministry. I recognize that I need people greater than me in the areas where I'm not proficient in around me to help give me wise counsel. And when I win, the team wins.
Yes.
Never mind. I just feel that way.
Yes.
If we can stop black men from seeing my four and no more. I got a Benz, what you rocking? I got a this, what you driving? No, not just have a Benz, but create a platform for those of us who have the initiative and the know-how, who have been self-injurious, to have a platform to get I was talking to this gentleman today who was an African-American. He's a client of mine. And he was homeless for 3 years.
Right.
He was homeless for 3 years. And he went to school. And he's in school right now, but he has no direction. So I started throwing things at him and said, hey, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? And then I said, listen, and I plugged him in with different resources that can help facilitate those things he is good at.
Yes.
It takes somebody to invest in us enough to say, I see you can shine in here, and give them what I can give to help them shine. And if I can help you shine, give you to somebody else.
You saw the good in him and said, wait a minute. Yeah, because too often we're too close to ourselves. And when you've been beaten by life, you forget the gifts that's within you.
That's right.
And you need to pull it off the shelf and dust them off. You pulled that gifting off the bottom shelf and almost like the genie, and help rub the look what you're good at.
That's real talk.
Look what you're good. And it takes another person who's secure in themselves, another man who's secure in themselves.
That's right.
To say, brother.
That's right.
You skipped over this.
That's right.
Let's pull this off your shelf together that you buried way in the back.
That's right.
And now let's elevate this. Let's clean it off. Let's dust it off. You may have failed at it once, but guess what? Any gift worth cultivating, you're going to have multiple times of failure.
That's right. Man, you know what's funny? I had a mentor. Now this is kind of carnal. I'm gonna tell you right now. People may not agree with this, but this is okay. But I'm gonna tell you what he said. So, when I was in the Marine Corps, right, I met some people. I was living in Oceanside.
Right.
And this sergeant was mentoring these young brothers.
Yeah.
And these young brothers was rough, or when I say rough around the edges, they was rough around the edges. And so I asked him one day, I was like, yo, why are you so patient with these brothers? And he said something that was funny, but it makes sense now. He said, my daughter can end up with one of these. He said, I could be mentoring somebody and stop them from breaking in my car. Why not?
That's right.
And I was like, huh. And then the essence of the conversation, now I got it. That man was not thinking right now. He was thinking generationally.
Yes.
One black man educated, one black man successful, one confident, strong, independent, individualized, but corporately thinking black man impacts 4 generations. Generational black man, black woman. We need to think generationally.
Yes.
Stop limiting ourselves to what we have in our house on the hill and our 4 cars or whatever. Can you imagine thinking generationally? If you taught 2 young men to do what you do that had the passion to do it well, you have just impacted 10 or 8 generations. That's generational thinking, generational education, I don't care. Wealth will come and go. I'm not pursuing wealth. I'm talking generational information. Can you imagine? There's a brother in our church who's always talking about silver, and he was begging brothers to invest in silver. Someone done went up almost $100 because he was in tune. Can you imagine if we thought generationally enough to tell somebody else what we did to get there?
Yes. Yes.
That's just me, though.
No. But what you're saying is true. Dr. Laura Leaf says it this way, beautiful Christian psychologist. And she says, listen, we're changing the mental terrain. We're rewiring the brain.
That's a fact.
And teaching the brain to stop the stinking thinking.
Hey.
and now it's creating a new pathways that now is rewiring not only how I think, but you hit it right. But also now I'm taking that rewiring and teaching the next generation and teaching my future children or teaching my current children. So now those children are going to teach their children, because now they're not going to have this same tragic and traumatic mindset, but then they're going to have this mindset of hope.
Okay, as opposed to keep going. Of hope. You don't did it again. I am convinced. If I was to write a book,
yes, sir,
I would name it something like the trauma mind needs peaceful. The trauma brain needs avenues of success. And this is what I mean by that. This is what I mean by that.
That's good.
Every place that I experience trauma, I not only need to resolve it, but I need a connection to something to replace that trauma.
Yes.
In the spirit, there are no voids in the spirit. And whenever I take a trauma out, I have to put something positive in.
Yes.
And so how do we take that trauma and use that trauma as an articulation for creativity? I was saying Sunday that ghetto is we have misappropriated that term ghetto, and we don't even know what that means. Do you know what ghetto means? Ghetto in its essence was a black man or an individual who did not have the means or the resources to do what the other individuals had, which our constituents had, but he made it work anyhow. He didn't have what they had, so he took the headman and put the phone on the headman and put it on and called it the wireless communication. Ghetto is ingenuity at its finest.
Yes. I love it. Look, you didn't spark books. Dr. Williamson, I love it. She says hers will be, how did my drama turn into a life of trauma? That's good.
Ooh.
That's good. That's it. Okay,
Dr.
Dr.
Williamson. I'm gonna give you partial credit on that when I write that.
Well, I'm gonna speak this, Mr. I will use your word. Can I prophesy?
Yes, sir.
I heard your book.
And
I'm gonna leave it at that.
In Jesus' name.
And the other thing I also heard was, don't be mad at me, a doctorate. But I'm gonna leave that alone.
I receive. Listen,
see, I quit hanging out with you,
man. What?
We get dangerous together.
I'm telling you. Listen, I just wanted to tell you that I'm appreciative of this platform. I'm appreciative of what you do and what you stand for. Your excellence in business and your commitment culturally to help us develop generational opportunities for us as a people. Like, I see you. I just want to tell you that before we get off. I see you.
I appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
And I see you too. I see your heart. I see what you're doing, and what the word says, despite not small beginnings.
Yes, sir.
Because we never know when that next corner we turn is the whole community and crowd waiting on us that's already been set up for us.
That's a fact.
But we just have to keep pressing our way in it. And I appreciate your press. I didn't quite understand it when I first was. I was like,
he was like, this African American tripping.
I said, now do Jesus. But I understand it, and it's anyway. That's a whole nother thing. But yes. I see you. I appreciate you. I love your heart. I love what you're cultivating and what you have cultivated in me as well. And it's great to have a brother and a friend, a mentor, and even a pastor apostle that sees gifting in me and gives me freedom to do that which I do, and the way that we complement each other in worship is ridiculous some Sundays. And but I can't thank you enough, and I can't wait to get I'm glad, you know what, that if Dr. I was hoping to get Dr. a story and Bishop, you were on with Bishop last time.
Brilliant.
Yes, he's been fighting another infection, so pray his strength. As a 3-time cancer survivor, his body sometimes doesn't resist what we think is normal, and so I called him and I said, goodbye, hung up. Yeah. He says, well, today's Monday. I said, Doc, it's Tuesday, and I'll talk to you on Thursday.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. But before we close, we got to know, how do we follow you? How do we attend the church? All those things, and just how do we do that?
Listen, just thank you for this. I am the pastor of Changed Church in Riverside. That's changed as the past tense, CHANGE church. And you can follow us at changechurch.org. And our services are on Sunday at 10 a.m. Bible study, on Thursdays at 8 o'clock p.m. If you are looking for a safe space, that's where we are. Yes. We are a safe place. We're in Riverside, and we believe in God flowing, but we also believe in the healing power of transparency. We believe in that, we will definitely love you. We will definitely make you feel at home. So hope to see you soon. God bless you.
Well, again, thank you so much. I appreciate you jumping on and even say, where's the link? Now, which email you sent it to? and coming straight from client right on. Give my love to First Lady. I adore her. She's absolutely amazing. I laugh so much at watching the two of you guys. And tell her she didn't tap that toe that much on Sunday.
Right.
So you was all right. You was all right. At one time, she fell out laughing. I said, "Oh, First Lady laughing. He doing well. He doing well."
Good. Yes, sir. Yeah, people don't watch the pastor. They watch the wife. That's for sure. That's for sure.
Yes. And again, thank you. Everyone, thank you so much. And please replay this show and also send it out to your friends. What Apostle Sly Wallace, aka mental health therapist, aka father, husband, you name it. He has dropped some knowledge, and I love the tension that we have. And we got to have this conversation, continue the conversation about the role of the current modern day Black church. And are we still relevant in today's society? And I'm going to say, yes, we are. And what we do that, and how do we do that? But as always, thank you so much for joining us for this exciting episode of Mental Health Marty, as we definitely spoke about the silent suffering and the silent struggle of being injurious, self-injuring, and what that looks like. Thank you for the amazing comments and the interaction with all of you. I could not be who I am without all of you. Please look for the launch of our new website, mentalmarty.com. And Chris's SAD is going to be on there. I took some time, y'all, because now you'll be able to pay online and secure with your credit card or debit cards or what have you. And we want to make sure that we are providing the best mental health support to you as possible. So always remember, in this journey called life, you don't have to secretly suffer in silence in the shadow of shame. But we want you to speak up, speak out, and live. Why? Because the best is still yet to come. We'll see you next week. Take care and God bless. Enjoy your life, be free and right. Enjoy your life.